let's take a look at our second square for the month. That is our snowflake patterned square. And you'll note that it is a stranded colorwork pattern, but this one is a little more difficult to work than that chevron stripes was, because we have to pay a little more attention to where the contrast color is in order to make our design. And we'll have far more floats along the back in that contrast color than we did on our chevron. When we go ahead and look at our pattern, it says we're going to cast on 32 stitches with color number 500 Milk, and we're going to use color number 505 Steve as the contrasting color. But I am going to use that Boho and iCat again because I think they have nice contrast. And again, you can choose what you'd like for this one. Just make sure you have good contrast. You're going to then follow the chart and you're going to repeat the stitches between the red lines 3 times. And you're going to work the chart 1 full time, and then you're going to work just rows 1 through 12 again before you bind off. But remember, if you need to, that you can go ahead and you can repeat the stitches a little more. You can cut out a few rows. It's whatever you need in order to get to 6 square inches. So we are going to go ahead and get started on our pattern. I'm going to cast on and knit the first 2 rows because that's just a plain knit and a purl row, and then I'm going to show you how to work that color work again on a little finer pattern, a little more difficult pattern in that snowflake. Now that I've worked those first 2 rows, it is time to bring in the contrast color here on row 3. So I'll slip 1 and knit 1 in the base color, and then I need to put in my contrast color. And this is going to be just like what we did with the chevron stripes. Slip 1, knit 1. I'm going to keep my contrast color over to one side, and there I've put my contrast color in and adjusted my tail a little bit. Then we're going to knit 3 stitches in the base color and then bring that yarn up and make that stitch to do a single in the contrast color, and then 3 more stitches. And once again, bring that yarn up. And there we've completed the first repeat. And you can already see that we have some nice contrast color in there, and we have some good floats along the back. So we'll go ahead and work the next repeat. So I've done 1 stitch in my base color, 1 stitch in my contrast color, 1, 2, and 3. Grab 1 there for my contrast color. Remember to keep those floats nice and loose in the back there, but not too loose. You just want them to make a nice fabric in the back. Do 1, 2, 3 again, and go ahead and grab that contrast color. 1 stitch in the base color, 1 stitch in the contrast color, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you spread those out. 1, 2, 3. Just go ahead and throw that contrast color in, and we'll finish off with the last stitch in the base color. And that right there is our first row. You can see it's very similar to the technique that we used on that chevron stripe, but as we go to build this one, it is going to, again, look a little bit different. And I am going to switch back and finish this chart to show it to you into my continental and Portuguese knitting style, because that's what I find most comfortable. But you can, again, either carry both of the yarns in your left hand and do continental knitting. You could carry both in the right and do an English throw, or what I find more efficient if you aren't going to try my Portuguese knitting is to go ahead and do one in continental and one in English style so that you can work your color work more easily. Just remember to keep those floats nice and loose along the back so that as you work your piece, you have a nice flat fabric on both sides and you don't have a lot of fabric drawing in. So I will see you in a little bit as soon as I have finished the first full repeat of this chart. Now that I have completed a full repeat of the chart, you can really see those little snowflakes, top and bottom, and they look pretty good. Now they don't have quite as much contrast as what my version does in the Carlton because I have a much lighter color as my contrast color, but I do kind of like those purple snowflakes. They don't look too bad. Hopefully you have enjoyed the challenges of color work this month in the chevron stripes and the snowflake squares. Next month we are going to tackle something just a little bit different. So I hope that you have enjoyed our journey so far. We are almost done. We have one more month, 2 more squares after this, and then I'm going to do a special little series on putting your blanket together. So deciding exactly how you want your blanket to appear and deciding how you want to put it together. I hope that you have enjoyed the journey so far and you are ready to tackle one more month. I will see you next time.